Welcome to the Tech Mechanic. Today's breakdown is part of our Azure Architecture Master Series. If you want the full roadmap, then hit the playlist from the start. With that said, let's dive into today's topic. Imagine your company's office has no security guard. Anyone can walk in. Anyone can enter the server room. Anyone can access confidential documents. Would any enterprise operate like this? Absolutely not. Cloud networks are no different. Every enterprise needs a security guard standing between the internet and its Azure resources. That security guard is Azure Firewall. Every application running in Azure communicates over a network. Without protection, hackers can scan ports. Malicious traffic can enter. Compromised applications can communicate with dangerous websites. This is why enterprise networks need centralized protection. Azure Firewall is a fully managed cloud firewall service. It sits between your Azure Virtual Network and external networks. Every request entering or leaving your network passes through Azure Firewall. It decides what traffic is allowed and what should be blocked. Configuring an Azure Firewall starts directly in the portal. First, search for firewalls and click Create to land on the basic setup page. Crucial step here: your firewall must live in a dedicated subnet named exactly Azure Firewall Subnet, with a minimum size of /26. Next, attach an Azure Firewall policy. This separates your deployment infrastructure from your security rules, giving you a centralized management layer. Once deployed, jump into your policy rules. Here, you can define network rules by port or use application rules to tightly restrict outbound internet access to specific domain names. Finally, update your workload route tables. Set your default route next hop to the firewall's private IP to seamlessly force all cloud traffic through your new security perimeter. Think about an office building. Everyone entering passes through a security guard. Visitors are checked. Employees are verified. Suspicious people are denied entry. Azure Firewall performs the same job for cloud traffic. Azure Firewall protects both directions. Inbound traffic. Traffic entering Azure. Outbound traffic. Traffic leaving Azure. Enterprise architects secure both directions because attacks can happen either way. Imagine our shopping application. Customers browse products through the internet. Their requests first reach Azure Firewall. The firewall checks whether the traffic is legitimate before forwarding it to the application. Malicious requests are blocked immediately. Banks never expose critical banking systems directly to the internet. Every request passes through multiple security layers. Azure Firewall inspects the traffic before allowing access to banking APIs and core systems. Azure Firewall works using rules. For example, allow HTTPS traffic. Allow connections to approved business applications. Block unknown IP addresses. Block dangerous websites. Architects define these rules based on business requirements. Azure Firewall integrates with Microsoft's threat intelligence. It continuously receives updates about malicious IP addresses and domains. Traffic from known attackers can be automatically blocked. Sometimes external users need access to an internal application. Instead of exposing the server directly, Azure Firewall performs Destination Network Address Translation, or DNAT. It safely forwards traffic from a public IP to an internal private resource. Many beginners think Azure Firewall and network security groups are the same. They're not. NSGs secure individual subnets or virtual machines. Azure Firewall protects the entire Azure network from a centralized location. In enterprise environments, both are used together. Large organizations usually place Azure Firewall inside the hub virtual network. All spoke networks route their traffic through this central firewall. This architecture simplifies security management across hundreds of applications. Solution architects don't deploy a firewall because Azure offers one. They deploy it because enterprise security requires centralized inspection, monitoring, and control of network traffic. Let's bring everything together. Users authenticate with Microsoft Entra ID. Permissions are controlled by RBAC. Applications authenticate using managed identity. Secrets are stored in Azure Key Vault. Finally, Azure Firewall protects the network itself. Together, these services create a secure Azure environment trusted by enterprises around the world. Azure Firewall acts as the central security gateway for Azure Virtual Networks. It inspects traffic, enforces security rules, blocks threats, and protects enterprise workloads. Whether your goal is to become a solution architect, cloud architect, AI architect, or simply a better software engineer, TheTechMechanic is your learning destination. Like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay ahead in your tech journey.